The Brian, Vinny, Craig show here, October 2nd, 2018, figure4online.com/wrestlingobserver.com. Run Nitro. Sucked. They sucked. They fucking sucked. Am I the only one?
Raw definitely sucked.
SmackDown sucked. Or not SmackDown. Nitro sucked.
Yeah, a fair bit.
SmackDown sucks nowadays.
Yeah.
Nitro sucked 19 years ago. Bad shows. Sid was funny. That was like the only good thing I saw all night, was how funny Sid was.
Sid is the best.
Everything else is just wretched.
How can anyone not like Sid?
I don't know. How did he win worse on promos? He was the only good in both shows.
Was there an error on the ballot where best and worst got switched?
No, stupid people voting.
Disheartening.
It is disheartening. Hopefully they smartened up looking back.
He made me laugh a lot this week.
Christ's sake, Stephanie didn't win. Linda, Al Snow. Like, you can just rattle off names of awful promos, and Sid somehow wins worst on promos. Are you kidding me? Should mention, by the way, that it was a very, very historic week.
Yeah.
Very, very historic. Yada started.
Oh.
What do you mean, oh?
Well,
you can thank every dollar you've ever been paid, Vinny. You should be celebrating today as a Yada Day. You, Rob, everybody here.
You are correct.
There was not even this would not exist right now without a Yada.
Correct.
It's far more important than fucking Russo. That shithead. Hey, let me tell you something. Everybody goes, well, you know, Russo left and then, you know, the Raw was still bad. He left on a fucking Sunday, okay? I don't know for sure, but I'd say there's probably a pretty good fucking chance that he wrote this shitty show. Now, we'll see how it is next week and the week after. And we'll have to unfortunately watch his Nitro run coming up soon. Hopefully it's horrible.
Oh, I'm already ready to bury him.
I mean, I need something like hilariously bad.
This is not hilariously bad. This is just infuriating.
This boring shit that we saw here today, I just can't take it. Just two bad shows. Let's get going.
WWF Monday Night Raw number 332, October 4th, 1999.
You did it right, Vinny.
It's because my notes here say, do Raw first.
I can't even believe it. I thought you'd fuck it up for sure.
New Age Outlaws versus Epoch and Kane versus the Holly Cousins versus the Acolytes. It went in a minute.
Already hated this. Did you even mention it's an elimination match?
I did not.
Why does it matter?
Well,
yeah, it does matter because there was a finish and then it just kept going.
Nice.
And I was like, why the fuck is this an elimination match?
All right. Why is it a four-way?
Who the fuck knows?
So, in literally a minute, the Outlaws and the Holly Cousins brawled to the back and get counted out. And now I am left wondering, is this a title match? Will there be new champions if somebody wins here?
Dude, who knows? They keep talking about X-Pac and Hart. I'm like, of everyone in this fucking match, the guy with the least chance of an enlarged heart is probably X-Pac.
So he had an X-Pac, of course, and then instead of tagging out, he tells Kane to fuck off. He's a total dick. So Kane comes in without a tag. Four-way goes on for a long time, and then eventually there's a chokeslam and a clothesline from hell and a double pin, but the Acolytes are declared the winners. This match sucked, and X-Pac looked like a dick.
Yeah, for
I'll
those
get
of you
him later.
For those of you taking notes at home, X-Pac and Kane got to get back together just last week.
Yeah, they got back together so they could break up again.
Right.
Clips from the show in England. China called Davey Boy a bulldog's ass. Davey Boy confronts Vince, throws a trash can. He throws it off screen, there's a loud noise, and the camera pans over, and there's Stephanie down on the ground.
Okay, I have no memory of this 1999 British Bulldog push.
Yes, I had that same thought.
It must not be very long.
I remembered he came back and did some stuff.
But I'm watching this show, and it's the worst push of anybody who is going to be getting a championship match that I've ever fucking seen.
Yes.
It's so horrible. He throws a fucking trash can, on accident, by the way. You know what I mean?
Well, he threw it on purpose, but...
I mean, but he didn't mean to hit
He did not mean to hit Stephanie.
Yeah, so think about all of the man-on-woman violence we've seen on this show, where the men are purposely beating up the women.
Right, yeah.
British Bulldog accidentally hits Stephanie McMahon when he throws a can, and he's like public enemy number one.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Well, it's the boss's daughter.
This is the
I
key.
realize that,
She's
but
more than a woman.
it's
She's
still dumb.
It's a dumber for that reason, actually. Yeah, I remember Bulldog coming back and doing some stuff. I do not remember him being basically a main eventer, calling out the world champion and feuding with the McMahons. That's a high spot.
Something must happen here where it never happens. I mean, I don't have any memory of this.
We'll get to that. I don't know. So Bulldog comes out for a promo. He blames the accident on Vince, who was the one who brought Stephanie into the room. Hey, my computer just froze. Craig, take over.
What?
My computer is frozen. There it
It's
is.
frozen.
I'm
What
back.
does that mean?
It means I would scroll on the trackpad and hit buttons, nothing would happen, but it's back now. 10 seconds. It's
Yeah,
fine
so did
now.
I.
I thought it got really cold.
In here?
No, it's just computer.
I see.
You never had your computer freeze before?
Never.
Who cares?
No, I take care of my computer.
So the Bulldog blames Vince for bringing Stephanie into a locker room filled with wrestlers. Says there's too many women in the WWF.
The only thing I could figure is they know Jared is leaving, and so they got to have another guy who will be anti-woman. They've decided it'll be the British Bulldog.
no better explanation.
Yeah, but that guy just left for WCW.
Bulldog?
No, the anti-woman guy.
That's the point.
Yeah, that's why. So now Bulldog is going to take his place.
Oh, okay. I'm with
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
I was talking about Russo. You were talking about Jarrett.
Yes.
That's actually fair. That's actually a reasonable
Jared,
mistake.
yes.
So, Bulldog says he'll beat Rock at No Mercy, then he'll demand his title shot. And China comes out and challenges him for tonight. Mankind goes to talk to The Rock. I think he broke up the team. I really don't know.
Well, they had this segment where Rock's on the phone, and we're supposed to believe that Mankind walked in to talk to The Rock, but he didn't look at The Rock. He went and he just sat down without looking at him, and he started to break up with The Rock. And he says, Rock, I think we got to break up. And Rock's talking to someone else on the phone, and he responds, I think you're right. So Mankind thinks The Rock is talking to him. In theory, it's clever.
Sure.
In reality, it was dumb. And then it ended with Rock revealing that he hadn't heard a word Mick said. I guess we're supposed to believe that Mick thought that Rock had heard what he said. And then Rock told whoever he was on the phone with that Mick was, and I quote, half retarded. In the bad segment.
Mankind, The Rock, and you, the viewer, all came off like morons here. Michael Hayes interviews Test. The condition of Stephanie McMahon.
Fuck, they're in the hospital. She's still in the hospital after getting hit with a trash can a week ago.
So she has post-concussion syndrome and major head trauma.
And
I thought they didn't know about that till 2008.
Oh, amazing. That's how it works, yeah.
What
she's
the
having
fuck?
she's having some memory loss.
Yes, Michael Hayes asks,
Are you
I hate
kidding
to
me?
be insensitive, but does this affect the wedding? And Test shakes his head. She doesn't even recognize me.
Lucky her. God, how this business would be different if she hadn't been hit by that trash can. She'd have married Test. Test would be running the show today. Except he unfortunately passed away.
well,
Maybe
so
he'd be alive.
He wouldn't be, but
Meanwhile, Moolah and Mae Young tear off Ivory's shirt.
hey, it's for the hell of it. They're backstage taking her clothes off.
Too long without female flesh. Somebody
Do
tears
you think
me
when
off.
those idiots were doing they were trying to get the concussion lawsuit filed against WWE, they even bothered to go back and find all of the actual smoking gun footage from WWE television to show to the court, or do you think they just did like a bunch of stupid stuff?
Well, obviously not.
I mean, clearly they just did a bunch of stupid stuff. But like, you could make such a fucking case with the stuff they have on their own network. The bullshit we didn't know anything about concussions till Chris Benoit killed his family. Here's fucking 10 years prior to that, practically. They're doing storylines where Stephanie got hit in the head and she's got post-concussion syndrome and it's bad, and her brain's fucked up. Not to mention Shawn Michaels in 1995. When Owen kicked him in the head and he had post-concussion syndrome and his head was fucked up. After he was beaten up by a legitimate Marine or two, or 10, or however many it actually was, and legitimately he was out of action because his head was fucked up.
Yeah, and his eye hasn't been right ever since.
It was 2008. That's not when his eye got fucked up.
I was just kidding, Ray.
Come on, this is factual
Since you
program.
brought up Sean, I didn't go to Raw. You guys did go to Raw. How is it that Raw was over for like hours and hours and hours, and only late at night did I learn Shawn Michaels is bald now?
Vinny.
Yeah.
I did a show with Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter.
I'm familiar with the man.
And in the middle of the review, he told me, I didn't notice he was bald.
Wow.
Yeah, that happened.
What?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
Yeah, he's bald.
He went from someone posted the
The timeline of his hair? Starting in...
Actually, I
95?
saw that too. That's the one I'm thinking of. No, someone posted is the video that Sean and Hunter did on the last Standard Def show. And
Yes.
they're doing the video about going to HD, and it starts as a plug to the merchandise, and then turns into a joke about being bald in 2008.
Yes.
Right.
So he lives in denial for a decade.
Oh, it was longer than a decade, dude.
Well, yeah, that's true. He's well into it by
Problem
then.
started in the late 90s.
So a long, long time. Spring of 2008, he finally gets a haircut, and then just 6 months later says, fuck it, shaves
Did
his
you
head.
see the haircut?
I saw one still shot.
Okay, well, once he cut his hair, he should have just kept cutting.
Okay.
And he did, and he's way better off for it now. But you know what the weird thing about it is? You can tell he's still so self-conscious about it because he came out in a cowboy hat.
And a bandana.
And then a bandana under the cowboy hat.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it's okay to be bald.
There's lots of bald guys.
Yeah.
Steve Austin and Hulk Hogan did very well at bald.
Well, Steve Austin, Hulk Hogan, refused to go bald.
I don't know why he didn't
skull it.
just go with the Bret Michaels and get the horse hair under the do-rag. And
Because his hat keeps coming off. He doesn't get to just stand there and sing.
That's true.
He's got to get chokeslammed by the fucking Undertaker.
well, you got me there.
Which I would love to see happen to Bret Michaels, by the way. That'd be fun.
Nothing but a good time.
Meanwhile, Mankind and Dude Stevie talk about the trauma of the breakup of Mankind and Rock. So the Terry Invitational Tournament is going on.
The what now?
The tit.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brian.
So
You asked.
I don't know when round one was. SmackDown at the
Probably
Who
gives a shit.
This is round two.
If it doesn't happen on Raw, it didn't happen.
It's a best of 5 between Edge and Christian and the New Brood, who is still Matt and Jeff Hardy. Even though they've dumped Gangrel, they're still using his entrance and name.
Right.
So Terry comes.
Let me explain more about this tournament.
All right.
Not only is it best of 5, the winners of the tournament get Terry
Yes.
Right.
and also $100,000.
Yeah.
What?
She'll be their manager, you see.
It's just like,
Yeah.
I'm going to be your manager, and I'm also going to give you $100,000.
Sure.
I don't even, what?
She's a poor businesswoman.
I just don't even get it.
I don't know what else I can say to you.
Why is there $100,000 in this? It's just ridiculous. And then she says, they'll be mine and I'll be theirs.
Yeah.
And $100,000.
Yes.
You know where this is going. I don't know where this is going, okay? But I'll tell you where I figure it's going.
Ladder match.
No, they're gonna split 2 and 2. And then in the final match, one of the teams is gonna be about to beat the other team. But she's gonna screw them and go with the other team.
That sounds like a WWF thing to do.
Which, if that's the case, why did she even bother? Why didn't she just hire the team that she wanted?
I don't know.
Like, I know where that's got to be where it's going, right?
You would think.
I hate this show.
So she comes.
I hate it, and I don't even know where it's really going. I'm presuming where it's going, and thus I hate it.
So Terry comes, I would say, bouncing down the aisle, but
Sure. They don't move, though.
nothing bounced.
No.
There's so much silicone there that she wasn't even aware her shirt was coming up. And like, I think someone had to tell her, and she had to reach over and pull it down. So they did a very fun match in front of a crowd that had no interest in watching fun matches. And they did the same mid-air spear spot that they later do at WrestleMania, much better at WrestleMania.
Much.
And Edge and Christian won. I think they're up 2-0, but I actually didn't write that down.
Who cares? Who cares who's winning the tit?
With X-Pac and Kane. Did I mention earlier what a dick X-Pac is?
Okay, so X-Pac does his promo, and they say, why didn't you tag in Kane earlier? Now let's just backtrack slightly. They reunited as a tag team last week, right?
Right, correct.
Okay. Now they're in a tag team match, right?
Right, correct.
X-Pac refuses to tag in his tag team partner, correct?
I'm with you, yes.
Okay, they said, why didn't you? This fucking guy says, I needed to prove to myself and to Kane and to everybody else that I belong in the land of giants.
Right.
So why did you reform this team?
You remember, before they got back together, he wanted to prove himself that he could go in the land of the giants like a month and a half ago.
So why did he reform a team that he has no intention of being a part of?
Because it's a terrible television show.
Okay, thank you. That's all I wanted to know.
It's the best I can do.
Then he wants a 4-way at the pay-per-view with himself, Kane, Farouk, and Bradshaw.
Right.
What an asshole.
Is this where X-Pac heat began?
It may be,
It has to be, actually. Because he was an idiot in this segment.
Hunter comes out, cuts a promo on Austin, calls Jim Ross into the ring, promises nothing bad will happen to him. They remind everyone that Hunter broke Ross's arm not that long ago. Hunter asks Bruce to play the Ross-Austin interview, which they said was from Friday. I don't know what's happening.
Well, there was that UK show,
I guess that was it.
which was Saturday. I don't know what Friday was.
Talk about Austin's neck injury. Hunter says Austin is Ross's boy. I wrote Rock's boy. That's not right. He promises he won't beat Ross up. Asks Jim Ross, what do you think Steve Austin thinks of me? And Ross says, I think Austin thinks you're an asshole. And Ross says, well, what do you think of me? And Ross says, you're a sorry, low-down son of a bitch. And so Hunter killed him and made fun of him. I got nothing. Yeah. What a horrible, horrible backstage interviewer Terry Taylor is.
He is the worst of all time.
I haven't...
Actually,
he's pretty damn bad.
he's horrible, but like some of the women that they've had over the last couple of years have been worse, but
I will attempt.
he's terrible.
Hold on, just a second. Did Terry Taylor do any writing for this show?
Hell if I know.
Because he was interviewing Jarrett, and when Jarrett gave his answer, Terry Taylor was mouthing the words with him as he talked.
Yeah, some people do that.
That was weird.
Well, listen, so
Maybe some ventriloquist.
actually, you know what? I'll say
Jeff's
this.
his dummy.
Well,
The horrible women that do backstage interviews nowadays are not from wrestling. They've just been hired because they're cute.
They're way better than Terry Taylor here.
No,
Yeah.
don't make me make you watch Ron SmackDown.
I watch
again,
NXT.
Vinny.
I
It's not NXT I'm talking about.
They have different women than the ones who came through.
Yes.
Okay, all right then.
Now the point of this is, he's the worst who's actually been involved in the wrestling business. He should know better, but he's terrible.
So, I shall attempt to be as wooden as Terry Taylor.
But he's not wooden. He's like fake excited.
Okay. So he's interviewing Jeff Jarrett and crew, and he says, quote, just as JR was attacked by Triple H a moment ago, you were attacked earlier by me and Fabulous Moolah. Do you and Jeff accept their challenge?
Close. You actually weren't excited, and you weren't fake excited enough.
Yeah. So Jeff accepts. I guess it was Ivory he was talking to, but yeah. Who cares? Mankind's playing dominoes in the cast of G versus E, which I promise you was a show.
Not only was it a show, but like Mick Foley was going to be on the show or something like that.
Yes.
So they were trying to make you interested in seeing G versus E. So what they did was they had two of the stars of the show. First they show up and they play cards with Mick. Later they come to the ring with Mick and they stand there for like 30 seconds and then they disappear into thin air and we never see them again.
Yeah.
Wow.
I watched a few episodes of that show. I have one memory 20 years later. So, character A says, how stupid do you think I am? And character B says, I have no idea how stupid you are. Which stuck with me because it's funny. And I probably use it a lot. So, Jim Ross being out means Michael Cole is out there.
Oh,
Terrible
terrible.
news.
Horrible.
Jeff Jarrett and Ivory versus Moolah and Mae Young is supposed to be the match. But the bell rings, and Jarrett throws Miss Kitty into the ring against her will, and they start beating her up, and she's screaming for help, and no one cares.
So it's supposed to be Jared and Ivory versus Moolah and May.
Right.
So it's supposed to be a young man and a woman
And a young woman.
versus two very old women.
Correct. It would be like you and Whitney versus Granny and, what's her friend name?
Oh,
She's not talking anymore.
Yeah,
Anyway. Might have been Paul.
So it wasn't Paul.
Sylvia.
Sylvia.
Yeah, that was it, yeah.
Paul.
He said Paul.
I think isn't that her
She
handyman
we're
guy?
talking about a guy named Paul.
We're talking about a woman.
Never
Her
mind.
friend at the senior center.
Yes, I understand,
Yeah,
Brian.
it's two old women is the point.
Great.
So, Kitty
Not a handyman.
Kitty is tortured and assaulted
I
for a
feel like
while.
we're on two different pages all the time on this show. It's like we're on alternate time. This fucking thing got in the way. It's like we're on alternate timelines reviewing like two different shows, but we're in the same room together. Am I wrong?
Brilliant.
So it's a young man and a woman.
Is this that important?
Yes, against two old women, and then you brought up her handyman.
Yes, Brian.
How?
Does it matter?
It does matter. I just need to know, like, if I'm crazy or what's going on here. Am I
Well,
losing my mind?
Yes, but that's not the point.
I'm sweating. I'm hot.
Take off your stupid headband.
I'm too hot. Let's go. My stupid headband. I'll
Yeah.
kick your ass.
See how good he gets jokes?
Go ahead,
It's like a joke
Vinny.
grenade. You have to tell it and then wait 8 seconds for him to
But
come.
it wasn't a joke.
Yeah, I know, it wasn't.
Where are we?
So, Moolah pins somebody. Jarrett's yelling at Kitty, tells her, "You ain't done shit for me," puts her in a figure 4. May and Moolah make the save. And Cole is so outraged by Jeff Jarrett assaulting his secretary, violently attacking her. He is so outraged that he declares he has no damn couth at all. Well, I'm not making that up. That's what he said.
Show's dumb.
In contrast, last night we were at Raw. There was a Bailey match, and
What
Bailey.
the hell's going on?
Producer Rob's watch.
Dude, anything else?
Anyway, Bailey was out there with Finn, and she was wrestling Alicia Fox, who was out with what's his name? Help me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Raw last night.
Finn Balor.
I know the other guy.
Jinder Mahal.
Jinder Mahal.
Sorry.
So the spot is Bailey's going to hit the ropes, and Jinder looked like he was going to sweep her leg. But you can't have man on woman violence on Raw anymore. Total contrast to what we're watching here in '99.
Yes.
Yeah, great.
Mankind and his friends get their makeup done. They put his mask on. We get GTV of draws, puking, and D'Lo's bag.
Final appearance.
That is. That
This was
sucks.
his final
Sad.
appearance.
I thought about it.
Vomited.
That sucks. Mankind goes out with his pals. Mankind's angry at Val Venus for stealing Mr. Rocco and putting him down his trunks. So Mankind makes some Catholic style jokes. Calls out The Rock.
Vinny, listen to me. This fucking segment was 1,000 times worse than This Is Your Life. So we're gonna be
Half as
here.
long.
We're gonna be here all damn night if I don't get an agreement on this. Do you understand? I've already had it up to here with this show.
Okay.
This fucking segment was so boring and stupid and lame and not funny. And Michael Cole's out there trying to tell us that it is funny. It fucking sucked. This was worse than This Is Your Life.
I will cut to the chase. This is going to be a 4-hour show if I don't. It's Mankind, Rock, and the Jericho all taking shots at each other. We had pedophilia jokes, we had gay jokes, we had retard jokes. The highlight was when a fan hit the ring, which is usually the highlight.
Yes.
Fan hits the ring. I think he had Jericho's sparkly shirt on. We saw Mankind kind of grab him, and security arrived, and then they just went to a close-up of Jericho for like a minute. That was sad, because I like watching wrestlers beat up fans. Rock asked Jericho to keep his jerk-off dad out of the ring. Made fun of him for beating a jabroni named Juventud.
That was funny.
Craig Prober said that, Brian. Don't get mad at me.
I meant the line about his dad. Anyway, go ahead.
So, he challenged Jericho for tonight. Mankind did Rock's lines.
Sucked.
I wrote here a fun segment.
Oh, no, you did. You absolutely did not.
Someone did.
Are you fucking kidding
maybe
me?
my computer was hacked.
You have got to be fucking kidding me. You hated This Is Your Life, and you thought that was a fun segment?
I would have left that part out.
I had to poke the bear.
Seriously, what the fuck's going on here? I'm seriously like in a different timeline than both of you
I
fucking
don't know what
geeks.
to say, man. It was a long night. It was late on Friday.
Craig
It was
hears
still punchy.
everything the opposite of what I say.
That's not
And
true.
you watch everything the opposite of what I watch. Get done with this show. Fuck.
Mankind and Stevie Richards are doing a promo. The Dudleys arrive and beat their asses. And as they are helping Mankind to his feet, he says, I'm all right. And he looks over and he sees Nurse BB and says, I'm hurt. British Bulldog versus China.
Oh, fuck. Dude. China and the Bulldog come out, and she immediately low blows him, and she dominates him the entire match until fucking Jer runs in, hits her with a coffee urn.
Yes.
Yep.
And then Michael Cole, for fuck only knows what reason, has to go, you can smell that coffee throughout the arena. Like it's fucking ether. What the fuck does a coffee smell have to do with anything? You know, with the metal thing, not the fucking actual coffee.
Spilled.
So,
You get the grains in your eyes.
we're supposed to believe that the fucking British Bulldog is going to be like next in line for the World Championship.
I suppose.
Why are you yelling at us like it's our fault?
He comes out here and he gets dominated by China
Yeah.
for 2 minutes before a fuck finish where she gets it with coffee.
Yes.
And then they just act like, oh man, we'll just keep going with this Bulldog. We're going to keep using him throughout the rest of the show, build him up, make you want to see this match. I don't want to see this match. I could not possibly give two shits about the Bulldog challenging for the WWF title. What in the fuck was this?
Red Rooster interviews the Dudleys.
Oh, and then Bulldog cuts a promo after his
we skipped that.
stunning
Yeah.
performance here. He says there's no place for a woman in the WWF. He grabs Chyna. He threatens to power slam her. He says, I'm going to count to 10, Hunter. If you don't come out, I am going to power slam her. He says, 1, 2, 3, 4. I lied. Power slams her. Then he stands there. Then they play his music. Then he starts heading up the ramp. It's been a good 30 fucking seconds. Guess who never comes out? Triple H.
Nope.
He couldn't give two fucks about Chyna.
Nope.
She is about to win the Intercontinental title, and this is the beginning of the end for her right here in this segment.
Then the Red Rooster interviews the Dudleys. Why the attack on Mankind and Stevie? Dude love.
Yeah.
So the Dudleys accused Mankind and Stevie of stealing a jacket or something.
Yeah, the one that Mick gave to Rock last week.
The Rock and Sock jacket?
Yes.
He stole it from the Dudleys?
No, the Dudleys stole it from him.
I see. I felt better not knowing that.
Yeah.
Turns out he threw it in the garbage, and they just got it out of the can.
Mankind and Stevie Richards versus the Dudley Boys. Jim Ross comes back. I can only imagine they said, Jesus Christ, Spectacle sucks. We know Jim Ross is supposed to be selling this meeting, but get out there. 5 seconds in, Val Venus comes out, pulls out Mr. Rocco. Mankind is angry, goes after him. The Dudleys are up there. Mankind puts Val in the claw. The Dudleys pin Stevie with a 3D. Mankind gets Mr. Rocco back. He beats up the Dudleys. Val takes Rocco back. They are feuding over a sock.
I'm not gonna lie, that's where I gave up on this show.
That's a good spot to give up.
Done. With
That's
this
a
fucking
very
show.
good spot to give up.
Did you mention where Val pulled Mr. Rocco out of?
Miss Fly, as I recall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Hanging out like a wiener.
He made it to Mr. Kako.
Mm. Does that count as Craig using profanity?
I don't think so.
No.
I think it does. No?
He's in the bedroom.
Vince comes out for a promo,
Can't take this.
orders the Bulldog to apologize. Bulldog refuses. Then Bulldog says, I'm going to take the rest of the night off.
Cool show, dude.
Jericho versus Rock.
Dead crowd.
Bad match.
Fucking dead, absolutely dead crowd. Nobody gave a shit about anything until Jericho finally put him in the walls. Curtis Hughes keeps interfering.
Yeah?
This has to be the end of Curtis Hughes.
At some point. So Jericho chokes him with the cable. Maybe coincidence, maybe not, but then the lights go out. They're using all kinds of weapons on each other. Hughes is supposed to pull the ref out of the ring. He's late. The ref has to stop counting. A disaster of a match. So eventually, Rock hits the rock bottom on a chair, the people's elbow on a chair, and the ref counts the pin with Jericho on a chair. Bulldog attacks Rock. Jericho shoves
good.
Hughes. Vince attacks Bulldog, throws him the Rock, and the show ends.
I'm not going to make it through the Attitude Era at this rate.
There is some bullshit on Extra Attitude.
I didn't watch it. You kidding me?
Can I ask one question? Maybe the lights went out because Bulldog was supposed to hit the ring right then?
I think the lights went out because there was an electrical problem.
Okay.
I think God was frowning on the show and trying to smite it.
That show was fucking horrible.
That was
You understand?
a terrible
Horrible. 14,000 fans they drew.
And they did a 5.9 rating.
Jesus Christ. All right, here's your dumb music. This stupid show. Somewhere here.
The finishes on this horrible show were double countout in 30 seconds in a four-way elimination tag, and then a double pin in an elimination tag. Clean pin. Pin on a woman taking a man's place in an intergender tag match. DQ due to coffee in 1 minute. Pin in a mess of a tag match. Pin on a chair in the darkness in the main event.
Actually, the lights came back on.
It sounded better my way.
Yeah. Well, we're facts here, Vinny. I mean, there's no point in lying about these shows. They're plenty stupid on their own.
Monday Nitro 211, October 4th, 1999. Goldberg arrives in a rental sedan, and as you noted, the only good thing on these shows, Sid.
Not just Sid. Sneaky Sid.
Sid is tiptoeing through the parking lot, like Scooby-Doo or something.
Like the Pink Panther.
Pink Panther.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding. He takes note of Bill Goldberg's parking spot, and as he stands there, if you look close and listen and concentrate, you can actually hear the gears grinding in his giant head.
Yes.
He has a cunning plan.
I love it because dumb people have to think what they say what they think. 22.
He did say that.
22.
22.
22.
What I loved about this is everyone shows up in limos and Humvees.
Yes.
Goldberg just happened to show up in a piece of shit car. What a
It was
fucking
better than Sid's
coincidence.
piece of shit car.
A lot.
Goldberg had an average sedan.
I want to say it was Cadillac.
All right.
Might have been. It was a four-door. It was not a limo. It was not a stretch Hummer. It was much better than Sid's car last week. Did I not say last week that Dean Malenko and Rey Mysterio just wrestle on every show?
Yes. Yes, you did.
Dean Malenko and Rey Mysterio wrestle on every show, and they wrestled on this show, and it was fun.
Yeah, let's talk about how Ray comes out and they note there are no other filthy animals in attendance tonight.
Thank you.
Really? Okay. No, I wonder why they're not here tonight. That's
Yeah,
weird.
That's strange.
So during this match is going on, and they just casually announce, "Oh, by the way, what they say? It wasn't we've heard, but we've been made aware that there's a new cruiserweight champion. It's Psychosis."
So, the cruiserweight champion was Lenny Lane.
Mhm.
Standards and practices put the kibosh on the gimmick. And so they just gave the belt to Psychosis and claimed he won. It's a phantom title change.
Did not know that.
Yes.
I would have thought they took the belt off Lane Lane because he was horrible.
Well, they would have just pinned him then. Be a better idea.
All right.
Doing
Anyway,
this fucking match, Shane Douglas comes down. I'm not
Oh,
making
God.
a fucking stupid finish.
forgot about this.
They're having a fun match. Shane Douglas comes down. He grabs the referee. He throws the referee's ass out of the ring. He attacks Ray, grabs a chain. Saturn runs down, takes the chain away from him. Saturn then grabs the chain and waffles Ray. They leave. Shane Douglas grabs the referee that he threw out of the fucking ring. He throws him back into the ring. The ref just sees Ray and the sharpshooter unconscious and calls for the bell. You'll never guess who this fucking referee was.
Nick Patrick?
Nick fucking Patrick. You know what? He is the worst referee in the history of wrestling. You want to know why? Because he's fucking terrible in storyline, and he's fucking terrible in real life. He fucked up the finish of the biggest match they ever did in their history. He fucks everything up. He's out of position. He doesn't know what's up. And in storyline, he's a fucking idiot. So, he gets the prize. Nick Patrick, the worst referee of all time.
Here's where it gets good. Dean is supposed to look at the big screen to see what took place, the cheating that ensued. Dean is watching the big screen, but he's watching the camera that's on the back of his head on the big screen for about an 8 count before they finally start playing the replay. And it shows that, in fact, Saturn, on purpose, used the chain. And he was upset because they cheated.
Poor production values here in WCW. Disco Inferno versus Psychosis. So they're doing the entrances, and I'm getting up, I'm getting a drink of water, whatever, and I hear the announcers talking, and I immediately drop what I'm doing, go back and rewind to write down this announcement word for word. I feel like it's a satanic scroll I'm reading or something. This has been an exciting week, an exciting weekend for WCW. World Championship Wrestling this past weekend signed two of the most creative men in professional wrestling today. We are very happy to announce that Vince Russo and Ed Ferrara were recently signed to be a part of the WCW creative team. He went on to explain you could go online and chat with Vince Russo and Ed Ferrara about their new positions. Yep, did anyone, and I do mean anyone at home, know who Vince Russo and Ed Ferrara were?
Well, he said that we probably knew all about it. That's what he said.
I asked my question again.
That's what he fucking
You, Brian, as someone who wrote a book on the death of this company.
No, nobody gave a shit. Of course not.
They are not even on the show yet, and we're already having to deal with repeated announcements stroking their egos.
Yes.
This is gonna suck.
Yes.
The match was fun. Psychosis misses the Tijuana Jam. Disco is the chart buster. He wins the match. He's the cruiserweight title.
So Psychosis loses fucking mask. is handed a title and then is pinned the next week on the show. Now, I will actually give WCW the benefit of the doubt here. It was not their idea to unmask the guy. And it was not their idea that Lenny and Lodi would be taken off TV. But it is funny that this fucking guy loses his mask, and the follow-up is he's handed a title, and then he loses it the very next week on Nitro. You couldn't even give the guy a little bit of a push? Couple weeks, maybe?
So, what was that?
I have no idea. You tell me.
Weird, strange noise came out of my throat just there. So, Disco Inferno Psychosis more than wrestling. The other thing I want to point out is I had texts from people at Raw who were, I was not there, but they wanted to let me wrestling fans remain smelly and fat. So, I'm watching this here match with Disco and Psychosis, and there's a really, really hot woman in the middle of the front row.
Yes.
And I think, what is she doing there? Something is up. I knew that this is not a wrestling fan. To be continued. Sid is on the phone, tells someone to come to backstage parking at Kemper Arena and spot 22.
And a little, he had the yellow pages open.
He did.
This time. For you youngsters, that's where you used to look up phone numbers.
He is so excited.
I would like to think it's the same phone book Bill was using last week in another city.
Probably.
The best part is he's all excited about this, and then some dude runs in and goes, "Sid, you're on." And he rushes.
Yeah.
"Oh man, I can't be late, sir. I must get to the ring for my segment."
So the outsiders are in the crowd.
This was the dumbest fucking bullshit I've ever seen.
Come down the stairs.
Fucking idiots.
They're double fisting beers. They've been double fisting beers all night, it's clear.
Mm-hmm.
Heenan goes to interview them. He asks when we'll see them wrestle again. And I thought, Kevin Nash lost a match. That he was supposed to never be seen again, right? At least he did.
Yeah, and Nash says,
I'm retired.
with a big smile to tell you that this is bullshit.
Yes. Hall says, quote, yes. He points to Nash. He's working the retirement angle and nagging me to come back.
Yes.
And Hall, and Heenan says, well, do you want to come back? It's a lot of fun. And Hall looks at him and says, have you been in the locker room? When it's fun again, I'll come back. And then Nash announces out of nowhere they're getting the band back together. They are so drunk.
This was a fucking burial 50 feet under of WCW. These guys just making a mockery of everything. Of course, the fans pop for them because it's Hall and Nash, so I'm sure they thought this was a giant success. Bobby is trying so hard, and they just fucking bury everything.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just the beginning.
And this, by the way, the spot they were sitting in the front row is just where that hot woman and her other hot friend happened to be.
The other,
Well, they're their dates.
Exactly.
the other one was a Nitro girl.
Oh, well, there you go. This led to
Vinny, hold on a second.
Yeah. Sure.
Our role on the show is to be fair.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
When I saw Sid versus Bryan Adams on the docket,
Yes.
I was like, I'm quitting. Okay? This is the worst fucking match you could possibly put together
It's way up there.
in 1999. And you know what? That bell fucking rang, and they did a high spot, and it was fucking fine.
Okay.
They ran a couple spots. Sid took a clothesline over the top rope to the floor. They didn't fuck anything up.
Mm-hmm.
It was totally fine.
This was, I was going to say, Brian, before you cut me off.
So you put your head in your hands, and you look like you were about to slit your
Well,
throat.
okay, I'm not. Someone thought it was a good idea to book Bryan Adams and Sid in a match together, and they got lucky, and the match was watchable.
That's true. An idiot put the match
It's
together.
still the fact that it turned out okay does not mean it was a good idea to put the match
Oh, it
together.
was a terrible idea.
Yes, that. So my face palm is to whoever put it together.
Did anybody else shriek when Bryan Adams pile drove Sid with his awful, awful pile driver?
No, I knew
Does
Sid would be safe.
Does Bryan Adams know that a pile driver is supposed to drop a guy in his head? He always throws him down sideways.
Yeah, he's terrible.
Their brawling was hysterically awful, but of course it always is. Other than that, Brian's right. They did not outright fuck anything up. Sid took a backwards bump over the ropes, landed on his feet, turned out okay. Adams hit a big giant suplex on Sid. Fun power match. Now, what did suck is that eventually, and of course, Charles Robinson is the ref.
A bad finish, you say?
There was, in fact, a bad finish on a Nitro
Wow.
match, yeah. So Charles Robinson is Sid's hand-picked ref, and Rick Steiner's his hand-picked buddy. So Steiner just comes out and starts fighting with Adams, and the ref doesn't care. And the reason they just did this was because Sid wanted to hit a powerbomb, but Bryan Adams is big, and so they sent Steiner out there to assist him and just make sure Adams got up and down okay. So they cut to the outsiders who are booing this, by the way.
Said the music is terrible. What is that? It's horrible.
Goldberg versus Jerry Flynn. Goldberg's doing his entrance.
This was one of the rare good things on the show because it's a fun, easy storyline. Jimmy Hart has a bunch of geeks, and they all want to beat Goldberg. And every week there's a different geek who tries and fails. And he cut this promo saying, Goldberg, you ain't a bowling ball that's gonna run through my men like they're bowling pins. Jerry Flynn, you will fall to Jerry Flynn. And he's like serious about it.
Oh yeah, he thought he had him.
So then, they go backstage and there's Doug Dillinger and all of the numbskull security geeks at the door of Goldberg. As music plays, and you just hear a... Because Goldberg's headbutted the door, something stupid. He's a caveman. Door opens and he starts coming out. He starts walking in the ring. They're playing his music. And suddenly, Sid appears in the background. And he begins screaming at Goldberg during his entrance. Goldberg! I'm gonna get ya! Or whatever the fuck he's yelling.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Goldberg is trying so hard not to laugh at this fucking idiot. Screaming like a fucking Sasquatch, all this bullshit. And Sid's just yelling at the guy. Storyline is Goldberg can't touch him until the pay-per-view. So Sid's being Sid, but he's an idiot.
Sid was the old man yelling at kids to get off his
It's
lawn.
fucking hilarious.
We're like, get on my lawn.
And Goldberg goes to the ring and kills the shit out of Flynn.
Yes, he did.
My favorite part here was when, as he's firing up, Goldberg is, he reaches out and does the goozle. And Flynn sells it for a second, but then grabs his arm and goes for a triangle. And Goldberg, he tried to do the powerbomb spot. Flynn's a big, big dude. And Goldberg did not get him up very high, but he made up for it by slamming him down so hard. Just tried to break the ring with Flynn's body.
I love when he was selling and then he made his comeback and the announcer screamed, "You can't hurt Goldberg." And I thought, you know what? There is only one man who can hurt Goldberg. And it's Goldberg. He punches his arm through that fucking window and slices his arm up. He tried to spear Chronic and hit the post. Hit his head on the post.
I forgot about that one.
There are so many times he fucking killed himself. But nobody else could hurt Goldberg.
No.
He headbutted that locker and then forgot his promo on Raw. The only man that can hurt Goldberg is Goldberg.
Bled Hardway on a promo.
So, spear, jackhammer win. People are jumping up and down for this win over Jerry Flynn.
It didn't matter who
It's
it was.
Goldberg.
It was Goldberg killing these
And all I can think was, remember back in the day, and by back in the day I mean a century or more of pro wrestling, when the guys who got the biggest reactions would then go on to get the most wins?
Yeah.
That was fun. Wrestling used to be cool. So, Goldberg cuts his promo.
It's a great promo. Goldberg
I forgot what a great promo, Bill.
He's not a good talker, but like, he's the best Goldberg promo that there could be. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, he's totally authentic.
You don't want him to be out there
He doesn't have catchphrases. Like
eloquent.
you're next, but no.
You don't want him to be an orator.
He's not telling stories. He has no fables.
You want him to be just a big, ugly dude.
He says, I'm going to kick your ass a havoc. If you want to
Yes.
kick your ass before then, I'm also giving my title back. And that's it.
They cut to Hall and Nash. They're making a mockery of everything.
Of course.
These two idiots.
They're so cool. Berlin yells at Brad Armstrong in German. Armstrong gets all rednecky in his face.
We're in America. Speak English.
Speak English. But Armstrong can barely speak. Gene interviews Harlem Heat.
You know what's great about this interview? This interview was supposed to be Harlem Heat challenging Knobs and Sags.
No, Knobs and Hugh Morris.
Hugh Morris.
The Knobs Morris Express.
The Morris Knobs or whatever. Hugh Knobs. Anyway.
Humorous Knobs.
Humorous
I
Knobs.
know it's like a
Fucking, that's a great name.
write that down right
Hugh
now.
Knobs.
So they're supposed to go out there and they're supposed to
General erection.
bury the humorous Knobs. And instead, as they're talking, the fans began to chant for the Wolfpack. Now in 2018, if you're the fucking Revival, and you're supposed to go out there and cut a promo on the B team, and somebody starts chanting for Drew and Dolph, you can't just start cutting a promo on Drew and Dolph.
No.
Right. These guys, the fans are chanting for the Wolfpack, so Booker fucking grabs a mic and cuts a promo on Hall and Nash. It was a good promo. Then Stevie cuts a promo on him, and then when they're done, they go back and they cut their promo on Hugh Morris and Brian Knobbs again. Professionals.
Yes.
Have you ever had neck bone,
Can't say that I have.
Brian? Okay. It must be good. Stevie Ray's always talking about it.
I don't know if it's a food.
I think you can
I better
boil it with food, and it will season the food.
I see. I'll look it up.
Yeah. So, anyway, the humorous Knobs attack.
These fucking idiots.
Mm-hmm.
Knobbs hit Booker and Stevie.
So
Yes.
fucking hard.
Not only did he hit him so hard in the head with a chair, it was in the back of the fucking head.
Yeah.
He hit Stevie so hard in the back of the head that Stevie goes in and goes, ow!
Well,
This was not selling. Knobs, fuck you. You suck at your job.
Kevin Nash is
I can't
laughing his
tolerate
ass off at
this
this
stupidity anymore. It's just stupid.
Worse than being overly violent, this fucking brawl went 5 minutes. Oh my god.
And then they follow up this forever brawl
Yes.
with the fucking Nitro Girl search.
Kimberly and Spice, my favorite out there, to talk about the young Nitro hopefuls, or Nitro Girl hopefuls. They explain one of last week's contestants, Jamie, is a young thing with a great smile and a hip hopper. That's about what Kimberly sounded like saying it.
You know, it will. In WWE, if there was a segment that did terrible numbers, they would give up on it.
sure.
Even if they didn't really give it a chance. These fucking idiots. This Nitro Girl segment died every fucking week. And they just keep going. It's not like it's Roman Reigns, where it's not worth these fucking terrible segments. Just fucking hire her and put her on TV.
I do want to note here, as they're interviewing the two Nitro Girl finalists from Kansas City, one is named Lavina, and they show her doing all sorts of dancing. And then she explains she lives in Lawrence, works in Vegas, has been a physical therapist in Kansas City for years. I rewound that just to make sure I got all that right. Can only imagine what this physical therapist is doing on the side in Vegas for 3 years.
It's well traveled.
I guess so.
Is that what they call it?
Goldberg goes to his car.
It's so quaint to see a car where you have a key. You put that key and you turn it.
Wacky.
Like, what the fuck?
It's crazy.
It's like a landline phone. So,
Weirder. I have a landline phone.
that's true. Goldberg, it seems, it's not strange to him at all. There's a camera crew following him as he goes to his car.
No, Bill has no idea what's going on.
He opens his trunk. He puts his bag in the trunk. Opens his door with a key. Gets in. Drives away. Bye, Bill. See ya. Brad Armstrong versus Kurt Hennig. The outsiders have left. The Wall punches Armstrong. Kurt wins it with a Hennigplex.
Fair enough.
Rey Mysterio tells Billy Kidman, who we were told is not there, Billy, your match is up next.
Yeah, right.
Billy comes running out of the shower in his clothes,
Right. Yeah.
followed by
That's weird.
Tori Wilson in a towel.
It's a weird relationship,
Well,
but it worked for him.
Yes, it did.
So maybe there's a lesson all of you.
you can watch Tori. Or
Wear
you
your
can watch,
clothes in the shower.
Okay,
You can watch Tori. You can watch wrestling. What are you gonna do?
true. Sid is told he needs to move his car. No, he says, you move my car.
You knew exactly where this was going.
Of course you did.
Of course he did.
But you know what's so great about it?
That made it great.
Like, Sid comes off as such a fucking dork.
Yes.
This is 2 weeks in a row that he's been thwarted by Goldberg.
He thwarted himself this week.
Yes, he's an idiot. But you know what? These people that are writing the show since Eric left, they're making a lot of stupid mistakes, but even they understand. Protect Goldberg at all costs. Goldberg here is like Steve Austin in the Vince McMahon feud. He always is victorious. You get a tiny little bit of heat on him, he gets it back. He humiliates the heel, left, right, up, down. If this were Raw, of course it would be Goldberg's car destroyed.
Yeah,
Sure. Goldberg would have had his car destroyed for 2 weeks. Then they would have gone to the pay-per-view and Sid probably would have beaten the guy. These fucking guys understand he's the hero. He always wins. You rarely, if ever, get any sort of heat on him.
Billy Kidman versus Juventud Guerrera.
I don't want to accuse anybody of doing anything, but Juventud was altered.
He was juicy.
Oh, I'll say.
So the match isn't good. The crowd doesn't care. The announcers are just making shower jokes.
I think he put
The women loved Kidman.
All right.
You want to know why?
He's in the tower.
Because Tori wants Kidman.
Sure.
So now the women want Kidman.
I see.
It's fascinating. The women never ever scream for Billy Kidman. All for 2 weeks, he's with Tori, and now the women are like, "Fuck, he's hot."
Yes.
And then Hoovy debuts the fucking juicy elbow.
Yep.
Was this before Rock made the comment,
Same night.
or did Rock make the comment first? Who did what as a response to the other guy?
It absolutely had to be Hoovy seeing Rock. There's no way Rock was backstage watching a Juventud Guerrera
He
match.
wasn't watching it. I mean, I'm sure that each side was watching the other side's TV. So someone could have easily come up to Rock and said, "This fucking guy stole the people's elbow." Or Hoovy heard his name and decided he was going to pay tribute to The Rock. I don't know who did what, but clearly one was a response to the other.
So they do a bunch of stuff. Psychosis is out there doing stuff. Somebody else. Ray comes out. Wasn't there another person on Hoovy's side I didn't write down? Whatever. Ray, who is there to be Kidman's friend, distracts the ref so Psychosis can punch Kidman in the balls, and then Hoovy gets a Hoovy driver for the win. It's a stupid, dumb match.
It went too long. It made the ref look dumb. It made the babyface look
It made
dumb.
Ray look
It made everybody look dumb.
beyond idiotic.
And then the babyface just cleared the ring afterwards.
Yep, didn't care.
So why didn't you just let him win?
I don't know. Moses is the WCW parking attendant. He was on last week's show, too.
I love this.
Moses...
There's no subtlety. There's no mystery.
No.
He parks in slot 22.
He does, and he gets out muttering about how Sid always treats him bad.
Classic.
He had... I forget if I mentioned this earlier or not, but they were in Kemper Arena. It was the Bret Hart versus Chris Benoit Owen Hart tribute match.
Finally, something good. Even though on this show, I was like, did it have to be on this show? Fuck.
Harley Race does ring announcing. God bless him. He was terrible.
He's not a ring announcer.
No.
But he said it meant more to him to do this than 99.9% of all of the other
Accolades.
Thank you, accolades
Yes.
that he had in his career.
Yes. So they had an excellent pro wrestling match that didn't fit on this show at all. Honestly.
No, but you know what? By the end, they got into it.
No, I didn't. I just meant it was totally
It
different.
took
than everything
20 minutes.
It took 20-some minutes, and then
Yes.
they built it slowly, without having really. There was no heel or babyface in this match, but the intensity and the volume of the moves got higher throughout the match. And when guys tried moves the second time, they didn't work. So when Brett tried his backbreaker the first time, it worked. When he tried it the second time, Benoit flipped it over and hit a very scary tombstone. So they're having this very, very good wrestling match. Like I say, it was 23 minutes. And after both guys have tried their finishers and reversed their finishers, Benoit goes to the crossface. Brett turns it into a single leg takedown, and then from the guard, it basically turns it into a sharpshooter for the win. It was awesome. Everyone goes crazy. The biggest thing about it is it had a reaction that you almost never see for American wrestling at any point, at any company. And that it was the Japanese crowd reaction where it's not silence like they're not into it. It is quiet respect.
They were watching the match.
They were watching the match, and when something cool happened, they would get into it right away and quiet down and start watching again.
They looked like they were killing each other, but they never touch each other.
No.
Slow build.
Very slow.
Sold exactly enough. There was no overselling. There was no underselling.
No.
Made it feel like it was real, even though you knew it wasn't real. And
Made you feel like it was important.
you know what's amazing is they just happened to the Kemper Arena right before Vince Russo showed up. Because
Thank God.
if they'd been in the Kemper Arena next week or the week after or the week after, I don't know for sure, but my guess is that Vince Russo okaying 30 minutes of wrestling was unlikely to happen.
Yeah.
So like this was the perfect time to be able to do this match. Actually, on the show.
At the risk of being flamed, I didn't remember this as this wasn't the classic that I remembered it as. It was slow and plodding, and as soon as they got to the superplex spot, that's when the crowd finally popped and got into it. And the last few minutes were very good. It wasn't a bad match by any stretch, but
The bar has been raised.
Fair enough.
We watched a New Japan show on Sunday that had at least 2 or 3 matches better than this.
Yes, that's true.
When it's this rewatching this with 2018 eyes doesn't feel revolutionary. It feels like a very easy 4-star match. But these 2018 is 4-star matches all over the world every weekend. So there's that. The other part of it is, if we're going to be totally honest, part of the appeal of this match is that it's 2 guys paying tribute for their fallen friend.
Yes.
And I don't want to feel sympathy for Chris Benoit in 2018.
That's fair.
So it's hard to get into it in the match for that reason. But it was a very good wrestling match, hugs all around. The announcers are choking up as they're talking about it and they go to commercial. So it was certainly a win. Gene interviews Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan.
This is awesome.
I'm not going to quote it.
Some people hated this. Like, Dave hated this.
Why? I don't know.
I don't know. I thought it was great.
It's Ric Flair talking about how great Hulk Hogan is, and
Weird.
Hulk Hogan talking about how great Ric Flair is.
So weird.
It was awesome. It was so awesome. Flair says, I'm going to say my prayers, I'm going to take my vitamins, and for the first time in my life, I'm skipping the bar. And Hogan says, that's a lie. But they kept going on. Flair's going to show me how to do that figure 4, or I'm going to crunch some bones. It was great.
Yeah, he's going to teach him how to... First off, Flair not drinking till Halloween Havoc, I mean, that was hard to believe. Hogan being able to apply the figure 4 leg lock was impossible to believe.
Sid goes to the parking lot where spot 22 is empty. Ha-ha, he says. My cunning plan is unfolding.
I got him now.
I got him now, he says.
I got him now.
I hope Goldberg and Sid feud for like 10 years.
I got him now, and he rubbed his hands together like this.
He should have had a handlebar mustache to twirl.
it. Yes.
Dallas Page and Buff Bagwell had a 4-minute TV match. Page grabbed the ropes to block the blockbuster. He missed one cutter. He hit it the second time and he won.
I liked the finish. The rest of the match was just there.
It was a match.
Bagwell did the job where he just lay in your back because he's pissed off that he had to lose.
I like the
Lays
counter.
there.
The counter to the blockbuster that Page did. He held onto the ropes and didn't actually go down and hit the mat.
Mhm.
That's clever.
Main event of Sting and the Total Package versus Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair.
Match was fine until the finish.
The announcers are talking about a 7 promo that I don't remember seeing.
No, it wasn't on.
Weird. I don't know. So it's funny watching this because they get the heat on Flair. So it's Flair versus Sting and Luger, which we've seen 700,000 times in our lives. But this time Flair's supposed to be the good guy. But it's every Sting Flair Luger match you ever saw. Every once in a while he'll do a fight back and tease for a tag and they'll cut him off. But otherwise he's getting press slammed. He's getting thrown off the top rope. He's throwing chops and Sting's no selling him.
Flair was probably completely baffled. He probably couldn't figure out what was going on in their match. Had to keep remembering that he was supposed to be the good guy.
That might be.
Hogan had this giant leg brace on. He couldn't even move.
Yep.
Literally his comeback is he stood in the middle of the ring. It's like, this is what you're supposed to do, but he literally did it.
Yeah.
He stood in the middle of the ring and everybody ran at him and fell down.
My hero.
And then he actually hit the ropes. I don't even know how. He hit the ropes and he did the big double clothesline spot. And then out comes DDP. The ref is distracted for the 50th time on this fucking show. There's so much convoluted bullshit.
Yes.
That all of a sudden, Luger is racking DDP.
On accident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the story. He accidentally put him
Luger
in the torture rack.
accidentally racked DDP.
Yeah.
You can look at nothing but this accidental rack. And then meanwhile, Hogan leg drop Sting. I don't even know how they set up the finish.
I don't care.
All of a sudden, Hogan's just doing a leg drop on Sting and pinning him.
Stop right there.
Yes.
Pinning him, you say?
Yeah.
There was a pin in a Nitro main event.
That was astonishing.
Who cares about all the bullshit? A man got
care.
pinned.
You know I care. I don't even know what happened.
I don't either. I don't
If
really...
you're gonna do one fucking pin on Nitro in 1999, at least don't have so much bullshit going on that I don't even know what happened to get the pin.
Maybe that was by design.
All of a sudden, he's just laying there, and Hogan drops the leg. Did someone trip Sting? Did someone hit Sting with something? Did Sting have a stroke? What the fuck happened where all of a sudden he was down and Hogan gave him a leg drop?
I don't
This
have...
is the main event of Halloween Havoc.
Yes.
Dude.
I don't have an answer to any of those questions.
And meanwhile, Luger is accidentally racking Page inside the wrestling ring. And Nick Patrick is standing with his thumb up his ass. As spaffy. He's just looking at him like,
He may have asked Paige if he wanted to quit. I'm not sure.
fuck's going? Is this guy in the match? I don't fucking remember. And then Sting, the heel, is pinned by the babyface Hulk Hogan, who's teaming with the babyface Ric Flair, and fans pelt the ring with garbage. And there's a pinfall. That's when I knew this place was dead.
And then, the best thing I've seen since the end of last week's show. Sid walks up to Moses. Hey, Moses, where's my car, man? Moses hands him the keys and says, spot 22. Sid says, 22. 22? Oh, man! Oh, man! Moses, you idiot! Jesus! Goldberg, where are you? Why me? Why me? Why me? And that is when I realized, Sid is me.
He is.
This is my reaction.
He was totally you on this
It
show.
happens bad to me. Someone around me must be their fault, and I have to ask, why me?
When he just texted, everything okay?
Tell him I apologize.
And he about to kill himself.
No, I got all excited. But
You know, it'd be best if next
you know how
week
loud
on
I am
Nitro-
every week?
If next week on Nitro, some fucking guy showed up with a piece of paper and Sid had to pay for the car,
Oh, good payoff.
then he's you.
Literally. Yeah, it's true. Actually, that did happen. So, yeah. Now, it's funny because, well, for obvious reasons, but Sid doesn't know why Goldberg did this to him. He thinks, Sid thinks he is innocent and Goldberg's just being mean.
Right. Goldberg had
That's awesome.
Goldberg had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, Goldberg
Yeah, Goldberg's
completely
no
innocent.
clue. No clue.
Goldberg
whatsoever.
literally just left the building. Sid fucked himself.
Yes.
Because he's a big dumb idiot.
Oh,
Classic.
I gotta show a thumbs up just for that 10 seconds.
Fuck, it wasn't a thumbs up. Get out of here. That was the best thing on the show.
I will do that finish. You don't need music. I gotta do the finishes here.
I got the music anyway, so
may as well.
shut up.
The finishes on this show were submission after interference, clean pin for a championship, pin after interference with a crooked referee, pin despite interference, pin after interference, pin after a man's own partner distracted the referee, allowing him to be double teamed by interference, clean submission, clean pin, pin after botched interference.
What a bad show.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 interference finishes.
Wow, I can't even imagine. Wasn't there one last week that were all clean finishes, or was that Raw?
There was a Nitro 2 or 3 weeks ago that was like 7 out of 8 clean or something.
What happened? Well, that's it, everybody. These shows better improve, or I'm gonna have to find something else to do. I can't take it much longer, so.
We have to finish these.
No, we don't have to do anything. I can do whatever I want.
I have a suggestion.
Yes, Vinny.
Delegate authority. I will review Raw, Craig will review Nitro. Brian, you can watch one or the other.
I'll think about it. I'll think about it. But now that you want to do it, I'm gonna make everyone watch both.
It's shocking.
Yes. And hey, I may give up on SmackDown too. I heard tonight sucked, and I was already on the edge with SmackDown. So we'll see what happens
Just
there.
we've come this far. Why would we stop now?
Because it's worse now.
Are you watching the shows?
Understood.
When we started watching, it was good. Now it's bad.
I've stuck my whole arm into the fire. I've come so far, I'll just throw my whole body.
Yeah, just jump the rest of the way in. God, these shows are bad.
I didn't say they weren't good.
They were wretched. All right, everyone, that's it. We'll try again next week. At least that WCW tournament's coming.
Oh yeah.
That'll turn it around.
Oh, yeah.
And so